everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing basically a full face of Sheglam makeup. If you haven't already seen my haul, go ahead and check it out. I'll link it up in the cards. But without further ado, let's jump straight in. I'm going to start with eyes today. I know I don't often do that because a lot of people aren't interested in that, but I'm going to add chapters to this so you can just skip through and see the parts that you want to see. Starting off with this Sheglam Ready Set Prime eyeshadow primer. When I did swatch this, it was quite silicone-y, and that's not my preferred texture for eyeshadow. It just doesn't stick as well, but let's go ahead and try it out anyway. I will also be using eye tapes today. I just want to do more of a rounded look. So I'm going to add this on. I probably should cut them. Not sure if they're completely even, but anyway. Starting off with I just want to show you, I got brushes. I did show it on that video as well, but I'm not going to keep referring back to the video. Some of them are dual-ended, and as most affordable brush sets come, it's just flat brushes or angled brushes, and then a couple of blending. I did use the spoolie. It's quite nice, and it's nice and firm to brush nice and thoroughly through the brows, so that was good. But we're going to use these for the eyes. And then I got this palette, and it is called Mexico City Stay Fuego. I really do like the packaging on this. It's so gorgeous, like all the artwork. I mean, it might be very generic and just print it off. And then this is what the palette looks like. So I kind of want to go in with the purples today. I was thinking more of the greens, but I definitely think I'll go in with the purples. So starting off, I'm going to take the really fluffy brush here, and I'm going to dip into this shade over here, and it is called Take It All Over It, spelled like olive. I'm going to take this shade and just run it through my crease. Okay, the eyeshadow primer is rather tacky, so that's good because it will grab onto the shadow nicely. But I'm just taking, like I said, this color through the crease, and then I'll blend it up towards the brow. So my first impressions just off using that one shade is pretty good. It's blending out really, really nicely and actually showing up. And the brushes are not bad either. This blending brush is pretty nice. Next, I'm going to use this dense brush. I don't think it has names. Yes, it does. It's a Mange. I think that's the brand. Mange 106 contour brush. The brushes also have little pencil, I don't know if you can see it, but it's like a pencil, the handle, so it's actually really comfortable in your hand. Anyway, I'm blabbering, but I'm going to go in with this purple shade, and it is called Sangria Kiss. If I didn't say so before, I'm telling you now, I'm doing the halo eye again. We're going to go on the outside and the inside of the lid with this. The pigment isn't terrible, but the shade is a little bit difficult to pick up on the brush. Then using this little shader brush, it is called the 115 shader. The other side is the eyeliner brush. But I'm going to take the shader because it's a nice light and quite fluffy brush. So I'm going to dip into this lighter pink over here, and it's called Bloom with a View. And I'm just going to start blending the shade out with this color. Then I'm just going to take the same brush that we used that purple on, and I'm going to dip into a tiny bit of this one called Cool Beans, and it's just a dark brown. And I'm just going to darken out this outer corner. It's definitely not as dark as I thought it would be. It's more like a chocolate brown. Then the exciting part, I'm going to go ahead and use this shimmer over here, and it's called Rosa Loco. Why do they say it like that? Rosa Loca. And picking that up on my finger, I'm going to put that in the little space we have in between here. Okay, so a little fallout, which is okay. That's why we did our eyes first. And I'm just going to blend it obviously into the other shadows on the side. That's a very pretty shade. So glittery. And then just to finish it off, I'm going to take this goldish shade, and it's called Good as Gold. So gold shade. I'm going to pick some of that up and just tap it in the very center of the lid. The shimmers are it's quite loose and dry, so I would suggest to get more like punch from it, you're definitely gonna have to use a glitter adhesive or a more sticky base. So maybe cut the crease and add some concealer in the middle. But so far I really like it. The only fallout I literally have is from the glitter. I'm gonna go ahead and add some mascara because I didn't get a new mascara. I don't really like their mascaras. Remove my eye tapes and we'll come back and continue with the skin. Okay, so before we move on, I just wanted to go through what we've already done, which is the eyes, because I don't want this to be too long-winded, and I won't have to do like a full yes/no at the end. So let's start off with the primer. I actually like it more than I thought I would. It does go tacky and the shadows adhere to it nicely. So it's actually really nice and I would recommend. The brushes I really liked. I would definitely use them again, and they're nice and soft and they are the right density for what I like to do, so I like them. Then the eyeshadow palette, unsure. I don't like the shimmers. I have glitter all over my face. I don't know if you can see, but there's glitter literally all over my face. I tried to wipe it all off, so I had to, yeah, it's just a mission. I have glitter all over my shirt as well. So I don't like the shimmers, but the mattes are quite nice. But let me know if you guys want to see me do some more looks with this. I could do like a 5 looks, 1 palette or something. If you guys are interested in seeing that, please let me know down below in the comments. Moving on to skin, I did not get a primer because I have the birthday skin primer and there's no other primers that I really wanted on the website, so I skipped that. So I just used like my regular primers that I usually use on a daily basis. So we'll move straight into foundation. So I did also get a pack. It looks something like this. I already used one and then I wet this one to use today because it's like a big fat one. It's like the Coco Cosmetics ones, although I don't have access to that. So that's why I got the pack, because it had this big sponge in. But this was really, really affordable. It's not that bad. It's really soft and squishy. It's not like those dense fat sponges you get from like Clicks or something that literally is like punching yourself in the face. It's quite nice and squishy, so I would definitely recommend that. Then I also got this foundation brush. Doesn't have a brand name, but it's one of those like slightly beveled cat paw ones that everybody's using. I know BK Beauty has them, and I'm not sure who else. I think Real Techniques, but I got this one to use for foundation, which takes us to the foundation. So I got the Skinfluencer foundation balm. So it comes in like a little velvet pack like that. All their foundations actually do. And then this is what it looks like. The packaging looks so nice. I really like it. The shade I got is in, I don't know if it will focus, but it is in Cashew. And then I also got 2, I think I showed it in that video, I got 2 samples as well, which were way too dark for me, so I gave them to my mom. But this isn't 100% like skin match, but it's good enough. In all honesty, I have used this already. As you can see, I used it for a TikTok and a YouTube short. So I kind of am slightly familiar with the formula. It is a lot better to apply it with a sponge. It gives you a much smoother application and shows less texture. It doesn't last as long as I would like it to. Like after a couple of hours, I went oily again, but I just blotted through my T-zone because I am an oily person anyway. But anyway, let's go ahead and apply this. I'll just apply it to one side of the face so you can see the difference. So I'm going to start on the side of the face. I do have a burn over there from my curling iron, but I picked up way too much on this brush. You need to be careful as well because a little bit goes a long way. As you can see, it's not a perfect skin match, but it does blend out to be slightly lighter. It does also smell like candle wax, I'm not gonna lie. It has a weird smell, but the coverage is pretty darn good and I really do like the balmy texture of it. So this is it applied to one side of the face. That's my side without. So pretty good coverage and I do really like the finish, but it's a game changer if you apply it with a sponge. But because we got that brush, I thought we'd try it out and I'm just going to go over it with the sponge. The sponge is really nice. I actually like the really big surface. So I'm just going to, on the side of my face, I'm just going to slightly apply it with the brush and then I'm going to go ahead and blend it out with the sponge. And I just picked a little bit up on the sponge as well. So this is the side blended out with the sponge. And this is the side with the brush. Don't know if you can see the difference, but it kind of slightly blurred more of that side than with the brush. Just like kind of sinks into your pores. But in general, I really do like the formula. I do have a problem choosing shades on Sheglam, especially for foundation. It's not very obvious. Like for medium skin tones, which I am, they'll use like models that are slightly lighter than me or slightly darker than me, and it's really difficult to decipher what shade you'll be. First time I ordered the cappuccino, and that was way, way, way too dark. I still look back at that video and I'm like, whoa, that was really, really dark. I don't know what I was thinking. And then this time I went for cashew, and it looked really light in the pot, but it is quite dark. So I think the shade range does run pretty dark. So just keep that in mind. Next, I have this little contour stick, and it is called the Sheglam Color and Sculpt Stick. So this is what it looks like. And it has like the bronzer on one side and like almost like concealer on that side, which I never really use that, but so I'm just going to use the sponge for this and pick it up on the back of my sponge. This doesn't seem to be showing up, on camera it is, but not as much in real life. I'm just going to draw it on my skin, doing one side at a time, and go ahead and blend that out. Oh, I really like the tone of this. Did I say what shade it was in? It is in the shade Cacao, which looks like it's a perfect match for me for not contour as such, but definitely a nice bronzer. Yeah, I like that. I think let's try and use the other side and try and just carve out our cheekbones a little more. I need a mirror for that. Something like that, and then maybe just some down the center of the nose. That's not really the center, but let's try that. It is more like a peachy tone. I'm just going to flip the sponge and use it for that. Again, the formula is super dry and not very emollient, but it did the job. Next, let's move on to concealer. However, this is an old concealer. They don't have many concealers on the site, so I tried to look for something new. And there's one in a squeezy tube, but I don't know, for application reasons, I just don't like that. I prefer something with a doe foot. So this is the Sheglam 12-hour full coverage concealer in the shade Coconut Flakes, and this is from my old video, but this is new. I got a little brush that looks like that to blend out my concealer with. So I don't really like to leave my concealer to sit because it gets really dry on me. So I'm just going to go ahead and blend this out. I used way too much on my chin, actually. I've seen a lot of people really enjoy, why am I showing you the brush? I've seen a lot of people really enjoy this concealer, but I personally don't like it. I find it a little bit too dry for my skin. Okay, so the brush actually is not terrible. However, the concealer is too light for me, so using a brush like this, I think, will keep coverage, so it will give you a very full coverage look, where I prefer my concealer to be a little softer and just blend straight in with the rest of my makeup. But as you can see, like, my under eyes look really stark now just because this keeps the coverage so much. So I think this will be a great brush with like my Rimmel Kind and Free that kind of shears out a lot. I think this will be great for that. But for me personally, like I said, I don't like the formula of this concealer. So for me, I would like to like shear this out more because it's so thick and full coverage. I mean, it is called the full coverage concealer, so I don't know what I expected. My under eyes are still quite crepey and creasy, but it is much more full coverage than it was before I used the brush. I got two more cream products for the face, and it is the Sheglam Color Bloom Day Glow Blush in the shade Risky Business. And then I also got their new highlighters, which is the Sheglam Glow Bloom Highlighter in the shade Tea Cake. So this is like a goldy color, but as you, if you're on any social media, you know that this is going super viral. So I'm going to go in with the with the highlighter first. It doesn't have one of those fat sponges. It actually has a doe foot, so that is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and apply some of this and just in my usual spot. So I'm going to do like a couple of dots there on the top of my cheekbones, and then just a little bit on the nose. Using the sponge again, I'm just going to blend that out. It does feel like it has like a slightly silicone base. Definitely a little bit goes a long way. I didn't think it was that much, but it's more of like a sticky formula. It's not terrible, but it definitely isn't my favorite. I've tried more affordable. I've tried more affordable highlighters than this one, or liquid highlighters than that one. But let's go ahead and use the blush. I mean, if you've seen my video before, you know that I got a different color, and the last time it was way too light for my skin. So I got a deeper shade, and I'm just going to go ahead, and these are apparently very pigmented, but I'm going to add about that much. And again, just using my sponge, going to blend that out. I'm a blush girl, so I like pigmented blush, to be honest. I don't want to have to build it up, but that looks gorgeous. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It does go quite sheer compared to what people say. I love blush, so if that helps. The day glows I found out are the ones that are shimmery, so I can't knock that because I picked it, but I mean, it's not very obvious from the website, but I really like that. My face is looking extremely glowy, and I'm not the type of person who... I like the look of it, but I do not like the feel of it on my skin. Like, my hair gets stuck on it, and it's just like, ugh. I don't like the feeling of it, but it looks really gorgeous right now. But we're going to go ahead and set it, which brings us to our next product, which is the Sheglam Insta-ready Under Eye and Face Setting Powder Duo, and it looks like this. I got mine in the shade Almond, which I think was a mistake, but that is what the under eye powder looks like. And then I've also used this before, so there is a loose powder underneath. I also did get the sponge thinking it was going to be like one of the Trigwell sponges, or what do you call those, the powder puffs, but this is an actual sponge. So I'm just going to try it and go ahead and set my under eyes with this and the powder. So like I said, it looks like that, and I'm just going to tap into that slightly. I do feel like, since I've already tried this powder, I do feel like the under eye powder is a bit heavy, but I found that if you use a brush, it's much better. So I'm going to do one eye with this sponge and then the other eye with a brush. Actually, that sponge is really nice. I didn't think it would be, to be very honest with you. I really like the look of that. Look, so that's my under eye without the powder and with the powder. Like I said, I feel like the powder is just slightly too heavy for the under eyes, but look at that difference. Like, you can't even see this little divot that I have anymore. So that's great. So there's one like a big flat brush or fluffy brush that I didn't use in the eyeshadow set, so I'm going to use that, and we're going to set the other eye with that. So just picking it up, and I tap off the excess. In all honesty, I think it looks better with the puff, but still it blurs the eye so nicely. But I'm just going to take the puff and just pat over this, and I think it's this type of spongy puff that doesn't, like, I just tapped off the sponge as if it was a brush, and it's really soft. It doesn't pick up as much product as the like fluffy sponges that you get, so I really like that. But for the rest of the face, I'm going to go ahead and use the powder underneath. Like I said, I got the wrong shade, I think, once again, because it makes my face look really orange. So let's just go ahead and apply this. Also, it's quite messy, even though it has like a self-blocking thing, but that doesn't seem to work. I just tapped out so much. But anyway, let's go ahead and just set the whole face. So this is the powder blended out all of my face. I think it looks really nice, but one thing I would recommend is definitely getting the translucent instead of getting a skin tone, because yeah, it's so hard to pick shades on their website anyway. Definitely go for the translucent. The texture of the powder is really, really nice, and it is very blurring and makes your skin feel really silky and soft. So yeah, I definitely recommend this. A lot of the products today I really do like, except that concealer. I really hate that concealer. The blush is also, I like it, the shade better than the first one that I got, but definitely would go for the matte one instead. The shimmer one with the highlight, it's just a little bit too much for me personally. But so far, I've almost liked everything we've used. Also, the glitter on the eyes, like I said, not great because there's glitter everywhere. So I'm just going to go ahead and set all of this in. And for that, I have the Sheglam Pressed Fresh Setting Spray. It keeps your makeup fresh and smelling like a vacation. So it's a setting spray. I love the packaging. It looks so cute. But I'm going to go ahead and spritz. I did in my haul video as well, just test the spritzer, and it is amazing and it smells so good. It does feel like the mist isn't even touching your face because it's so fine, but it feels so good and it smells like coconut. Smells so good. I really love the packaging on that. So after I just spritz my face, I usually just tap everything with a sponge. So I didn't get a powder blush or a powder bronzer, so I'm just going to jump off camera and do that, and then we'll come back and apply the highlighter that I got. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to look, but for highlighter, if you saw my haul, I got a purple highlighter. I was just always so curious to see what it would look like on me, like a colored highlighter, but this is the Sheglam Metallic Glow highlighter, and I really wanted to try it. So we're going to go ahead and apply this. That's kind of why I went with like a purple eye look, but this is a completely different type of purple. So I'm just going to pick that up on a brush, tap off the excess, and apply this to the skin. So it is fairly glittery. I'm gonna put some on my nose. Okay, so I'm not sure if you can see the purple shift, but I really like it. I think it looks so cool, but I would definitely pair it more with like a muted eye look, but I really like that. Oh my gosh, 100% recommend. I definitely want to get another color, maybe like a pink might look nice because I do wear a lot of pink blushes, so I really like that. My light, maybe if I turn my lights down, you'll be able to see it. So let's try that. Yeah, I think you can see it a bit better like that. But now also you can see how orange my skin looks. So let's zoom you in so you can have a closer look. So this is what the skin is looking like. I think the skin is looking amazing. Amazing. So lastly, I have the lipstick. I really love the packaging, but it kind of reminds me of Milani's new packaging, and this is the, I don't know what the actual lipstick's called, but this is what it looks like. It's like silver, and the shade is called Heartbeat, and it's just like a really nice brown. So I'm going to go ahead and line my lips, and then we'll apply this. As most of you know, I like to have like a really dark lip line and then a lighter color inside, but let's go ahead and apply this. It smells really nice. It smells like the MAC lipsticks. I didn't realize this before, but it looks like it has some shimmer in it. The formula is really dry. I'm just taking an angled brush and blending the lip liner. So yeah, I think the lipstick formula is a bit dry. Like, let me zoom you in, and you can see like all the lines and cracks on my lips. So, not my favorite. So this is the finished look, using an almost full face of Sheglam. Take what you will out of that, and let me know what you liked and what you would like to see again. I'm planning to do a get ready with me soon, so let me know if you would like me to include any of those products. But other than that, that's it from me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.